life of every Nigerian, or the death of every Nigerian, should be a source of grief to all of us. And when we are talking about numbers, it gets very worrisome. This morning, I think the Tribune put the number of people already killed in Zamfara at about 3,000. It is indeed very worrisome. But let me start by thanking Senator Marafa. I think we owe him a lot of gratitude. Without Marafa, it would have been difficult, almost impossible, for all of us to understand clearly what was going on in Zamfara State. When he started this campaign, some thought it was mere politics. And sometimes it was sounding like a broken record, repeating itself. But today it has been vindicated that the matter is indeed very serious. So I believe that the people of Zamfara need to celebrate Senator Marafa for his resilience and making sure that this is brought in the front burners of national consciousness. And the matter was made worse by the fact that most municipal houses and media houses do not have correspondence in Zamfara. So it was almost impossible for the nation for many years to understand what was going on. After Marafa put so much pressure on this Senate, I remember I was sent a delegation headed by the Senate leader on a fact-finding. He came back with a very troubling report. I remember, too, that in that report, we are told that the whole of Zamfara had been engulfed, except possibly one local government. And I don't know how safe that local government is today. And thereafter, the media started paying attention. So I must also commend the media. Today, almost all the newspapers in Nigeria made efforts to report about the problems in Zamfara. And I think we need to join them to show concern in what's going on in Zamfara. Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, if you look at our Constitution, especially Section 14(1)(b), it says that the primary purpose of government shall be the security and welfare of the people. And so, if we are going to devote the whole of this day to debate this, I think we will have ensured that we are focusing on the primary purpose of government. And for us as a government, we are not talking about a local government or state government or federal government, but the whole government of government must ensure that the security and life and welfare of the people must always be addressed. So this is why it is important for us to join the media a day like this to show concern about what's going on in Zamfara State. Yes, the police, they set up an operation, the army are there, the Air Force, everybody, all the security agents are making efforts. But as I have said severally, these are just short-term measures. These are measures that can never last. These are measures that will not bring permanent solutions to this. We must find lasting solutions to the problems of Zamfara, not only Zamfara, but the entire country. The security situation in Nigeria is going to get worse if we don't address it. Nigeria, as I keep saying, is the only federal government, federal state in the whole world that's doing the type of policing we are doing, which is the centralized kind of policing. As long as we are doing it, we are not getting it right. And the security situation will continue to get worse. So we must go back and be able to ask ourselves, what do we need to do? And what we need to do is simple. Let us go and decentralize our police. Create police at different levels, especially at the state level. It may have its own problems, but we must also address the issues of concern to those who fear about the police at state level. So that's the only way we can address this. And I believe that probably we do not have enough time. We have a bill that's pending on this issue. We may not have enough time to complete it before the tenure of this assembly. But the next assembly must address it aggressively. If it's the only thing they will give to Nigerians, I think it's worth doing it. It's worth doing to ensure that on a long term, Nigeria is protected the way other countries are being protected using a decentralized policing. We cannot get police, the type of police we have, and expect any different. It will never work. So I want to appeal that we need to take it seriously and have a conversation with all those who think that there's something wrong with state police and be able to meet ourselves halfway or be able to understand ourselves in such a way that we'll be able to provide the security and welfare which the Constitution enjoys all governments at every level in Nigeria. And finally, sir, I think that if you look at Section 305 of the Constitution, which talks about state of emergency, I believe that the time is ripe in Zamfara today for us to consider a state of emergency there. It does not mean that the mistakes that have been made in the past will continue the same mistake. Yes, governors were removed on account of state of emergency, but that's not what the Constitution says. The Constitution says that you can only remove a governor or any person in government or through the process provided by the Constitution. So that does not mean that the governor will be removed, but it's just to put extraordinary measures to ensure that lives of people and their properties are protected. That's what state of emergency is all about. And I think that we must do that in Zamfara in order to be able to protect those who are still living. And of course, and unfortunately too, the story is not different in many parts of the country. In everywhere there's killings going on. There's kidnapping, as Boachan has said. Last Sunday, something bizarre happened in a church in Enugu State. A young woman had a baby in her hands, and someone just came with arms and with a gun, and then took the baby away, and today they're asking for money. Reverend fathers have been killed. Innocent people have been killed, farmers. So it's going on all over the country. So we must wake up as a country, wake up as a government, and as a people, and as representatives of the people to say enough is enough. So I want to support this motion, and I believe strongly that we need to do something about it. If we're going to devote the whole of the day discussing this matter, I think it's what is there for us as the people.
Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr.